like 11:30 now. We always have a report time the night before, but we kind of already know based on the schedule, like what a first pitch, what time you'd get there. But I get there, for me, I'm always the one hanging up the jerseys and pants because you don't put those in the dryer. We hang them overnight. We hang them the night before. So by the next day, they're dry. We hang them all up while the other guys are hanging up all like the Under Armours, the shorts, like everything else that the guys are wearing, the socks. They're doing that part. And then after that, we usually have towels from the night before. All the, the guys get treatment, so there's towels in like the pool room area. They're, obviously from everybody showering and stuff like that, so there's a lot. We fold all those, put them back in their respective places because each one has like a different color. So like it's a whole format that we do. And then after that, I usually will go out to the bullpen and make sure everything's stocked up drink-wise, whether it's the waters, the Red Bulls, the energy drinks, whatever, the towels, because a lot of the guys, you guys never see it, like Zach Wheeler threw last night. I think it's usually, every guy's a little bit different, but usually the next day he's off, he doesn't do anything. And the day after that, he starts throwing bullpens at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon before everybody else gets in the stadium. And every pitcher does that. So we just call it, who has a bullpen today? So I make sure it's prepped that early because they're out there. And if they're throwing a bullpen and it's 100 degrees out in July, they need towels and stuff, and then it's cleaning that up after they're all done, going back out there, replenishing it for the game, getting the buckets and everything ready for the batting practice and infield drills, polishing the helmets every day because there's scuff marks that happen, or say it's a rainy, muddy night, there's going to be dirt marks on it. We spray it usually with scrubbing bubbles, if you guys are familiar. They work great. It's amazing. You let it sit there for like a minute or two, and then you put some elbow grease into it, and it comes right out, usually. And that's kind of my job, to make it look good. I think it's become even more and more of something that I prioritize because now we have a team that's on national TV a lot. When I first started, it was like Christmas when we had a game on ESPN. And now it's like, oh, we got one of those again? Okay, cool. So, it's a lot. And then I'm also factoring when do I eat. I got to find some time to just factor that in. I don't have like a lunch. Like it's just like find a time. And then there's another part of it where it's like you clean up everything after the batting practice and everything. Make sure everything's off the field. Guys leave bats behind, gloves behind all the time. Make sure it gets to your side because when we're home, the away team's coming out right after you. So you got to make sure everything is back on your side before it gets in the wrong hands by accident. So yeah, it's all of those things. And then the game starts. And then I think everybody knows what I do during the games. And then after the game, I'm cleaning all the cleats. But that means it's scrubbing bubbles again. You let it sit there for a little bit, scraping with like this metal wire brush really hard. Some nights are worse than others. When it rains, that stinks. Because it's like a sheet of mud underneath, and you have to basically have it in a condition where it looks like it came from Dick's Sporting Goods by the end of the time you're cleaning it. Like those guys are wearing the same cleats over and over again if they look the same. Some guys they switch it up a lot nowadays, but like they're not like brand new pairs every night. And mind you, if they're out there for infield drills or pitching a bullpen, we're cleaning those cleats before the game, just like we clean all the ones after the game. So you're not sitting a lot, and that's my days. It varies a little bit here and there how it looks depending on what the guys have going on, but that's what it looks like. And I think the most negative part of a really cool experience of spring training is all those bullpens, all those infield drills, all those everything. When spring training first starts, there's about 85 players there. All those cleats. Sometimes twice a day. So sometimes over 100 cleats in a day. So it's great. Yeah.
You mentioned this a little bit, but is there anyone filling the stands that you should be fans of because they're a great person
that you should be fans of? Well, first of all, honestly, I don't have a bad relationship with anybody on the team, which I'm saying that regardless of if there was a camera on me right now and this was going on the internet. I really, really love the guys that we have. I'm saying first and foremost, you can have your opinions based on production or if, you feel like a guy should get paid less or more. Having Kyle and JT back means so much for not only the clubhouse, how we operate, how the rest of the players feel in that locker room. They lighten everybody up, especially JT is that captain. He's the silent captain. If you thought about and heard stories from like Chase Utley, that's JT with this team. He is the silent leader where if he speaks up, you listen. Like that's him. He leads by example. He leads that whole pitching staff. And having him back for that rotation alone is massive. Kyle Schwarber, he's that big teddy bear, man. Like exactly what he looks like. And he is the vocal guy. He is the guy that loosens everybody up on the most nerve-wracking days. I'll never forget. Obviously, it didn't go like we wanted it to, but that Game 7 against Arizona, he walked in. He was one of the only guys that had been, he'd won a ring, right? Like, because he won it with the Cubs. He walks in that day. Everybody's pretty quiet. He walks in, he goes, "Hey, happy Game 7, boys. How we doing?" Like, I don't know. It was just nice to have like a huge smile and that vocal leader, and I think it would be severely missed if we didn't have those two. I think everybody does such a great job at doing their role, and everybody's rolling. It's one of the best places to be. I think if there's one guy that gets a lot more flack than he should, that has been amazing in not only the community but to me, Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola is one of the nicest human beings you will ever meet, generous as it gets, always wanting to give back. He asked me so many follow-up questions when I was running for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, wanting to give back, wanting to help out any way he can, following up questions, remembering it later in the year, asking how it went. Like, I mean, just that he cares about you as a person. And, like, I feel like he gets so much flack, even though he's one of the best pitchers in our history when you look at the numbers. So maybe if there's somebody that doesn't give enough attention anymore in this present day, I'd say Aaron Nola out of everybody.
In the last 2 weeks, I was informed that 3 different people have been diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
I haven't reached out to anyone yet. I don't know if am I bothering them.
Sure.
When is it time? Do they want to hear from me, or are they?
Yeah.
Anyway, what is your suggestion?
Yeah, that's a really.
When do you want to find out?
Yeah, that's a really good.
Second question.
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever do the visiting teams? Is that fun to meet all the other players, the opposing teams?
Yeah, okay. So, first and foremost, in case he asked if he knows people that have cancer, is it okay to reach out? When do you reach out? How do you go about that? I think everybody's different. I think that's the hardest part in answering that. Like, I'm somebody that would probably feel a lot more welcome to it than maybe somebody else, if they're like more introverted. I would say, if possible, if you know like their wife or like somebody else, or their, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody else, maybe go that route first. Be like, hey, I'm really.
I literally just saw his wife.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say obviously they're going through it too, right? But like I think, I don't want to speak for people, but I almost feel like it's almost like their responsibility on some level, like to take some of that. You know, they're going through it, but they're not going through it. It's in the guy in the bed, you know. And I think they know that you're a caring friend or whatever it is, and you want to be there for them if they want it. That'd be my suggestion, but again, everybody's different. I feel like if there's that friend or husband, wife in the picture that you can reach out to first and be like, hey, I really want to reach out, but like, how's he or she doing? Like, is it okay? That'd probably be my suggestion, but everybody's different. The second part being the visiting side, I would say more often than not, no. I'm only home side. That's been my job since I got there, but I've had experiences over the years. I'll never forget, like, I saw an opportunity. I kind of just jumped on an opportunity. I saw there was a lack of cleaning up going on with the St. Louis Cardinals a couple of years ago, and I was like, Albert Pujols is right there, and he's retiring this year, and he's an icon. So I helped out a little bit more, and he ends up thanking me and having a quick conversation with me. And I'm like, that's awesome. And now at my house, I have a signed Albert Pujols jersey that's actually says like to Adam, God bless, like all this stuff on it. It's not just signed Albert Pujols. That's really cool. So it's about like, if you really want to maybe have an opportunity to meet one of those guys, I think everybody kind of knows like you're a fan of baseball if you work in it, but get what you're supposed to get done first. I think I'm going to have a lot more of that opportunity this year with the All-Star game. I had a little taste of it last year where I got to meet some of the other guys. And ironically, some guys I thought wouldn't be nice were extremely nice. For example, Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado, both on the Padres, I thought they kind of looked stuck up from afar, just kind of how their swagger is, how they come across. They were two of the nicest guys I met in that National League All-Star team last year. So I'm really looking forward because I'm sure at least one or both will be in that locker room for us this year. And, like, those are cool. I feel like you just really have to take those moments when they're there, but you don't expect them because they're not part of your description. We have a whole staff that works the away side. They're going to know and interact with them. And you kind of take what their opinions of players with a grain of salt because everybody's personality is different. You know, I could be best friends with somebody that somebody else hates. You know, that's just how people work. So I wish there was kind of more involvement with that, but at the same time, my role gives me the opportunity to have very close relationships with our guys. And because there's been so much turnover over the years, those relationships have just continued to build. I think one of the cool little quick stories I have is Schwarber actually sang a cappella in high school era. He's a music kid himself. And over the years, he's kind of talked to me about that. His wife's, I think, dad is like a big bowler. So Nola used to have a bowling event. Now he's switched to poker for his charity events. But, like, Schwarber sees me with all the balls. He goes, dude, you bowl? Like, we had, like, a whole conversation about bowling. And, like, I was having this conversation with Paige, his wife. And, like, you know, you don't get that if you work on the VC side. Like, the visiting clubhouse side, you don't have any personal relationships. You don't meet their wives. And if you do, it's like a quick hi, goodbye, you know. So that is, in my opinion, 1,000 times more important and cool than maybe a quick interaction. But if you can get a quick interaction, why not? Because they're right there. But I don't get Star Trek very often. I'd say Albert Pujols was definitely one I was like, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and he's retiring next year, so it's now or never. So, yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
How's your Spanish?
My Spanish. You just had to say that in front of my mom, didn't you? My mom gets on me a lot about it. I'm pretty good at it, but I could definitely be better. I've picked up a lot over the years. Even just talking with both of our translators over the years have both been named Diego, so I just say the Diegos. But they've both been very nice. Learned little things from them here and there along the way as well. It's really funny once you start to realize what curse words are in Spanish, and then you listen and you're like, wow, they have a lot more than you think they do when bad things happen, or good things. But yeah, no, it's something that I think we and myself individually could all do a lot better with. And I think, yeah, it's definitely something I should probably do more of. And I've heard it over the years from the person in the front row to my left. So, yeah, no, good point. Very good point. Anybody else? Think we're good. Yeah.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you. What a joy. And I've asked Pastor Greg to close in prayer.
Thank you so much, Adam. It was wonderful, for the kind words. Of course. Let's pray together. God, we're so grateful that you are the healer of our bodies. We're so grateful for doctors and medical care, for treatment plans, and how you use them. And today, Lord, we're thankful for Adam and his health and all of his work to help others gain healing. So we ask you to bless him and all his colleagues. We thank you for the blessing that he is at Trinity. He's not our bat boy, but he is our drum boy. And we're grateful for him. Bless him and bless all of us as we go from this place, that we might know your presence in new ways. For Christ's sake we ask it. Amen.